Greetings, Earth enthusiasts. If you ever wondered about the incredible perspectives our planet has to offer from high above, you're in the right place. I am Dr. Clive Coetzee, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this captivating journey into the world of remote sensing. Welcome. And please remember to like, subscribe to, and share this video. Thank you.
Well, we've come to a somewhat temporary pause or stop when it comes to working with the Terra climate data product or data set per se. So we're gonna work with a couple of other things for now. But as I said, with all of these data products or data sets that we've worked with, they are just temporarily paused or stopped. We'll get back to them at some point, but for now we're just going through as many data products as possible within the Earth Engine catalog, and then just see what we can do with those data products. Hopefully at the end of this video tutorial series, we'll have scripts and codes that we can apply to any and every data set possible within the Earth Engine catalog. So a subscriber contacted me or emailed me end of last year and asked about the snow product, if we can do some work on a snow database or snow data product of Google Earth Engine. So I'm going to work on this. This is something I haven't worked at all, so this is something new to me as well. So this is truly a new start of a new journey within our remote sensing journey, a new episode, so to speak. So that's all I've been given, is to say, okay, what about the snow? We will need to work on the snow catalog or the snow database data product. Now, it doesn't snow where I live. It's just bloody hot, but it doesn't snow. But it snows not far from me. And so I'm going to use a location that I'm familiar with. So I'm not going to work with Antarctica and places like in Canada or wherever there's a lot of snow, because I'm not familiar with those places. So I'm going to choose a familiar place, which is not far from us. Now, it doesn't snow a lot, so it may not be a good region of interest, but let's start. And that's, the beauty of what we're doing is that we just start our journey and then, let's see what happens. And if there's curveballs or problems or dramas, then, we just change headway, change a little bit left or change a little bit right. So all I know that it's a snow data product. Okay, so I'm opening my Earth Engine and I'm going to go into my data sets and we'll start a search for snow, because that's what we're looking for. Data product, data set, snow, there it is. Okay, so let's find it, let's open it. And I presume this is a data set that the subscriber is referring to. Okay, so the Terra Snow covered daily. Okay, so it's a daily data set. So there's a lot of them. Global 500 meters. So that's fairly high spatial resolution. It's available from 2000 to 2024, so that's a good period. And then remember, it's daily, so there's 365 times 24 images. So obviously it's an image collection. Okay, so that's important news. So if we go down, there's the resolutions of 500 meters. That's fine. Here's our bands. So this is obviously important. So I assume we're going to work with the snow cover band. Snow cover, the value is computed and retrieved from observations of the day is selected. Provided values above 100 are masked out of this band. They can be found in class band. Okay, so it's important. 0 to 100 doesn't have a scale, so we don't have to worry about scaling. There's a NDSI, raw NDSI, the value is computed and retrieved of the day. Okay, so it's important to understand it. Okay, so there's a value of 200 missing data, no decision, night, inland, ocean, cloud, detector, saturated. There's value here, no decision, light, inland, water. Okay, self, shadow, missing light. Okay, so there's some important information relating to the bands. And as we say, we found the start of the the code itself, our script to get started on the data product. So there's image collection, there's date, okay, filter date. We're gonna put our own. So that's the band. India snow cover, which is this one here between 0 and 100. So that's the band. There is the visualization, the map center, and map layer. Okay, so let's open it and see what happens. Okay, so I open it. It should automatically load within your Earth Engine script editor. Okay, there it sits. And let's run it and see what happens. As I said, this is new for me, so let's see what happens. Okay, so make it a little bit bigger. I'm gonna go out a little bit. Okay, so that is it. So let's zoom in here. This is obviously, okay, my area is 0. So there's some areas here where there's blue. Let's quickly go in. Let's do the inspector. Click plus minus on my area here. Snow cover 0. Okay, so that means there's no cover April. Now that makes sense. It's very hot here. But if you go, let's have a look and see. If we go to where there is snow, which is the northern hemisphere, let's do inspector, click on this particular area here. Let's click on it, see what the number is there. Snow cover 75. And so there's the snow cover. Okay, so if we use inspector, it will give us the snow cover. I assume it would be in thickness or something to that effect. Okay. Anyway, okay. So now we've got our basic script included. First thing, I need to bring in a region of interest, because as I said, I'm not interested in these locations. I want to work in my specific location, which is around, as I said, the place that I stay. Now this, if I go to satellite and I untick these, then there is a mountain range not far from where we stay, which is in this area here, Cirrus. And it does snow here. On these mountain peaks, it does snow. Fairly irregularly, but it does snow. So what I want to do is, I want to generate a region of interest for this particular area. Okay, so let's go, and I'm going to go into my box here. I'm going to draw a rectangle, or I'm going to draw a shape. So let's say I'm going to draw a shape. Okay, so let's say something to that effect. And close it. There is my shape. For better or worse. So I've drawn a outline of polygon for my region of interest. Okay, and there it sits. Okay, so I'm just gonna unselect it. There it sits there, so it is located there. So I'm just gonna untick it there, and I'm gonna call it my region of interest. There it sits. Okay, so I've added my region of interest. It's a polygon, and it's got all its coordinates. Okay, so I've developed the region of interest because, as I said, that's typically where it snows in this part of the world. Okay, so let's have a look and see. So I've got my region of interest. So what we now need to do, as I said, I want to display my region of interest. I want to center my map around my region of interest, and I want to clip my image collection to my region of interest. Okay, so I'm going to go previous tutorial or previous project, and I just go and copy that script. You can retype it. It's simpler just to copy and paste it, and then just make the changes. So I'm going to keep with blue. We don't have a points layer. I'm going to center my map. Let's center it around the midpoint here. So I'm centering that. So I'm using this little balloon one. I click on that, and that do it there, and then obviously it will bring up there a geometry, which is a point geometry, and I just copy it there. So there's my coordinates. Let's copy all of them. So I'm copy it there, and then I just paste it into my map center part, and then I can delete it. Okay, well, let's leave it as is. Okay, so there's my region of interest, and it is centered. Okay, so let's just redo that again. So I'm going to go exit just to confirm again, and I'll press delete. Okay, so as I said, the first thing that I want to do is to generate my region of interest. Okay, I know roughly where it snows, so that's what I want to generate. So I'm going to go to my freehand, or you can go to the box. Not a line, so it's either free shape or a square or a rectangle. Okay, so I just basically draw it as is, draw it standard around my region of interest, and I'll come in around this side and around the mountains as is, and then I go back to my location. There's my region of interest. So I've created my region of interest. It's not the best looking region of interest, nonetheless it's a it's a region of interest. Okay, now as I said, it's located there, so I just change it into ROI. Okay, so there it sits. So I'm unhide it or unselect it, it's still there. Okay, so there's my region of interest. I've created now my region of interest. Let's quickly, okay, before we run it, before we go. Okay, so I said now I need to create my map center, and I can go back into this and say create a new layer. Okay, and this one here I can, is a point one, and I can go and select that specific point there, and there it's got the coordinates for that specific location that I've selected, which is roughly in the middle, of my region of interest. If you look there, and I just copy that and I paste it into my map center part there, and then I also unselect it, and I just normally just delete it here as well, because I don't have any further use for it except to generate my map center. There's my clipping tool, my region of interest, and so I'm gonna just do, I'm gonna map and then clip to column. So I'm clipping my region of interest. This is gonna be for, it's gonna select the first. So okay, so now I can delete the map center, and let's run it and see what happens. Okay, so it centers around this particular area, and it generates an image just for my region of interest. Okay, so that's good. So that's phase one. There's my region of interest, there's my map, snow cover map, etc., etc. Okay, so that's good. We have our visualization parameters. That's obviously black, and then we can find out what these colors are. Let's go there, copy that. If we want to find out what those colors are, we just go to the little nut there, and we just paste it in. And that would be light blue. So that would be black, light blue, medium blue, and I presume this would be dark blue. Let's have a look and see. Press on this nut and paste in there. Well, it's white. Okay, so I presume that's dark blue. Let's have a look and see. Look, we can change the color scheme. I'm going to show you that dark blue. Okay, so that's black, light blue, dark blue, and white. So yeah, no snow to lots of snow. Okay, so now we've basically, let's remember to save. Doesn't have a name, so let's give it a name. So I'm going to go save with a description. We make a copy of current file. Yes, I want to make a copy, and we're going to say it is snow.1, and we press OK. It will save. You'll see that the name will change now. And obviously, if I go to my scripts, if I go to snow now, it should be listed in my scripts as well. MNPQR. And it sits no, there is it. Okay, so now I've got a script. I'll call it a project. It's got a name. It's saved. It's within my script items. So now we're all good to go. I've saved it. We can run it again. I've got my region of interest. It centers around my region of interest. Remember, that is my zoom variable, and I have my initial code, and I've clipped it to my region of interest. So let's quickly have a look here. Now, obviously, this is daily data. This is daily data. So this is on a monthly basis. So this is Terra's now daily land cover. Let's quickly remember we get snow in winter. So our winter time is under 6 months. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce it by using the median reducer. And I'm going to look at it from 2018. Let's make it for the whole period. So let's go 2000, but I'm only, okay, I want to do it over per year, but because if I do it over a long period, I'm going to include summer months and things. So I need to only focus on winter months. Now I know it snowed here in 2021. And that would be from the 6th month, I think, until the 7th month, 2021. And let's see, and I'm reducing it by a mean, and let's see now what happens. Okay, so let's see if there's any snow that it can see. Let's see if it picks up any snow. There's a little bit here, but that's water. It picks up water. If I zoom in, you can see the spatial resolution is quite big. So if I go inspector, click on that point there, snow cover. Yeah, there was some snow cover 13. Okay, so there's some snow there. So that's not a good indication of snow. It's in the right place because that's in the mountains. If I do it that way, so that's in the mountains there. If I take this away, so that's, so look, see, that's water. So that's in the water. The snow should be sitting around here. That's where the snow is. So that's most probably not a good month. So let's expand it a little bit, make it to the 5th to the 8th. Let's run it again and see what happens. If there's anything happening now. Nothing there. So let's make it sum, because we want to let's use the sum function, because I think that's going to be a better reducer. Because if there's snow, it's not going to be a lot of snow. Yeah, you see, there's some action coming along here. So let's take satellite image. No cover, it should be around here. So let's click that button there. 17, that button there. 30. There's a white part there. There's a white part there, which is 272, which is that part there, which is on the mountain. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for, there is the snow. This blue and dark blue, I'm not too interested in. That's what I'm looking for. There's my snow. So in fact, what we want is, let's say a maximum 500, and let's say a minimum 150. Let's see what, if we're on it now. So let's have a look and see what happens now. There we go. This is looking much better. So now we're identifying locations with snow. There we sit, which will be on our mountains. Let's unselect. Yep. In fact, I need to go a little bit. My region of interest is not very good. You can see my region of interest is not good. I need to include this area as well. Okay, so let's delete our region of interest. I'm hoping this makes sense because I'm now literally doing this for the first time, working with this data set and these things. So sorry if I disappear, because this is not a prepared the video tutorial. This is as we go along. So let's delete this now, but I hope this is valuable, and this is basically what we're going to do. So we're going to run a I'm going to do this, and then we're going to redraw our region of interest. So I've just deleted it. So let's do it around this mountains here. So we're going to go, there's the mountains there. Like I don't want to exit. I want to use the freehand. I'm going to remember there's the start of, let's make it, there's the start. So I'm going to go this. So I'm going to go all around this mountain area here like that. I'm going to go all around in this mountain area. Okay, so they have created a new region of interest. Okay, so go back to console, make it bigger. There's my region of interest. Make a ROI there, and underline it here and run. Okay, so I was not happy with my previous region of interest, so I simply just deleted and redone the region of interest. And there we're starting to see the snow areas. And if I overlay it with my snow cover with the satellite image and take the region of interest away, you can see the locations of snow, which is around the mountains. And if I go into it, you'll see this most probably. Let's see if it aligns. Yep, it does align. You can see this is the area with the most amount of snow. It's around these high peaks here. You can see there. Let's have a look. You can see it's on these high peaks. So that's interesting. Basically what we would expect. Let's save. Remember to save. Now, this black is no good, but we'll play around with the visualization parameters looking at this nut here. So let's play around with our visualization parameters. So let's go and stretch it and see apply. See what happens if we do that. Apply. That looks better. Remember, it's the white that we're after. That's the high snow areas. Okay, so let's stretch it. Let's stretch it to alpha. Okay, that's now not too different there. Let's stretch it there. Yeah, so it's all basically okay. So there we go back to the black ones. Don't want to go with the black ones. So we're not going to use these ones. We're going to go back to the stretch and gamma. And let's say apply. Now that just gives us, okay, gamma doesn't really give it to us. Okay, so let's between this one, which one shall we go with? This one looks a little bit better. It's not as busy. Okay, so let's say apply. And let's say import. Okay, and I'm going to go close. And the visualization parameters should be imported there. So there it sits. I'm just basically going to go copy that visualization parameters, and I'm going to add it into my map layer, my adding of my map layer part. So if I run it now, it should automatically generate that image rather than using the previous visualization parameters. There it said. So let's see if I go back to median. Let's see median. Let's see what happens now. It most probably will. Let's see if it gives me a visualization. It will just be now for the median. I have to redo the map. I have to redo the color scheme. So let's go stretch again. It's just white. Okay, so that's not going to work. Let's go to the 90% stretch. Let's see if it, see it's zeros and zeros. So that doesn't, it's not going to work there. So if I go back to my, so let's use this color scheme for visualization for when we work with the sum reducer, and let's quickly generate a color scheme for if we work with the median. So come on, what happened now? Map add layer. No man, this shouldn't have happened. What did copied now? This whole thing. I only want this part to go. And map add layer. Let's see, this is now this. And then snow cover, and then close and wet. So let's see. But that value is now too high because it's a minimum is 150. So that's not going to work. We need to, that's a little bit. So let's go back to 0. So let's run it again and see what the results look now. If we change, and that's playing around with it, let's quickly go into our, you see there's a bit of snow. Again, let's go satellite image. You see it's a bit of snow there, but it's not showing nicely as with the sum. So let's go to our visualization parameters. Let's go to stretch. Let's go apply. So that's not going to work. Stretch to alpha. Nope, not going to work. Let's go to gamma and see if there's anything that we can work from there. Nope, nothing much there. So it seems like we have to work with the cumulative. We have to work with the sum. We have to work with the sum reducer because snow is cumulative. So that's most probably why we have to work with, and then we're going to go back to our visualization parameters that we've created there. We just copy it. And we go back into here. We add it here and we place run. Okay, and if we're happy with that, let's quickly just see what our numbers look like. Okay, and we press save. Okay, and I'm going to go to satellite view because what I want to do is quickly go into a inspector and see what happens. Now, this is areas where there shouldn't be any ice. These areas, and they're right, it's no ice. There should be nothing there as well. So it's really the white locations. Let's go in. It's really these white parts here where there's a lot of ice. You can snow. You can see there's a lot of snow there. Okay, you can see there. So the white areas are the locations where there's a bit of snow, but yeah, this doesn't make sense as well. 65. That's lowlands. Well, it's on a little bit of a mountainous area. Okay, but anyway, so this gives us some food for thought, so to speak, where we can now play around with and further explore what this data set is all about. But this basically gives you some indication of how to basically start from nothing, meaning we knew there was a database, the snow database, but we didn't know much of it. In fact, I didn't know anything about it. I said we familiarize ourselves with the bands, and then we start with our normal procedure. We generate our first image, or we just load this into our Earth Engine script manager using this open code editor, and then obviously from the code editor we start manipulating the code or the script in the sense that we add our region of interest, we set our map center parameters, we generate our region of interest in terms of clipping our data product to our region of interest, we start specifying time periods or dates. We use reducers, and then we start with our visualization of those images. So let's quickly go to, let's make this the 6th and the 7th month, because I don't think August. Let's run it again. Let's see what that image looks like. And it's busy loading. Okay, so let's look at 2022. I know that in 2023 it also ran. 2022 I don't think there was any snow, so that's why I've chosen an area that's familiar to me, because I've got a rough idea when it snowed and when it didn't snow. So yeah, I don't think it actually snowed much. And then let's look at 2023. Now what we need to do is generate multiple images, and this is what we're going to do going forward. And obviously we're going to use our temporal difference methods. You see, there we go. But I know 2023 it's not quite a bit, and that's definitely evident. That's definitely evident. Just quickly, when was the drought? In 2016, I think it was a drought. So let's go to 2016. And then run it, and I don't think there was any snow in 2016. Let's have a look and see. I very much doubt that there will be much. Yeah, you can see there's very, very little, if anything. So I think I'm happy with my region of interest. I think we can play around with this data set. I think we have a rough idea of when it snowed and when it didn't snow, so we can create a profile. Remember, this is now from 2000, so we can generate a nice profile of, and say, remember, we can generate a nice profile of snow for our region of interest, and specifically for these mountainous areas, which are there. You can see there. And so we can generate a nice snow profile in time series, in time, from this data set. So this is just the beginning of this particular data set, and now we'll start working on this data set to see what else can we do. You know, as I said, the immediate thing comes to mind is that we need to generate a graph to see periods of high snowfall and low snowfall. For example, remember we said in 2023. In 2023, between 5th and 7th month, if I do the sum, there was quite a lot of snow here. You can see there quite a bit of snow here. But let's look at January. There is no snow in January because it's hot as hell. So if I'm going to press, and we can overlay with maximum temperatures and minimum temperatures as well. 23, let's make it to the 2nd month. Let's run it again. I made it same month, same start and end date, so that's never going to work. You can see there's no snow, not at all. It's too hot. Okay, so that's quite interesting stuff. So now all sorts of ideas comes to mind in terms of what we potentially can do with this data set. And again, it's nice because it's frequent data. It's got a long time frame. It's topical stuff. It's snow. It's something that is, as I said, is very topical at the moment. So yeah, something that we can work with. So let's see what we can do with the snow data set. There's already said a couple of things that springs to mind that we can do, but the basic idea of this video tutorial was just to show you how we start from nothing to something where there's all of a sudden a lot of ideas that we can play around with, and things that we can ask ourselves, hypotheses that we can set, or questions that we can pose to Earth Engine to see if we can get those answers. And I said this comes from one of the subscribers that have asked me to say he's interested in the snow data set. What can we do with the data set? I don't know. this is now, as I said, why I've created this channel, is for us to collectively, explore Earth Engine and what Earth Engine can give us or allow us to do. Okay, so yeah, thanks for joining me. This is a little bit of a different video tutorial to the previous ones, but nonetheless, something that's going to occupy us for the next set of this, for this journey, for the next leg of this journey, if you want to. Okay, great stuff. Just please remember to like, subscribe, and to share this video. Remember, sharing is caring. Importantly, please subscribe. I'm desperately in need of subscriptions. Please remember to hit that subscription button. I'll really appreciate it. And then I'll see you soon. And yeah, I'll see you on the other side.